I hope you're doing well, and welcome back to Mimic Logic. There haven't really been any updates to the game, but there was that hard mode I saw at the end of the last time I played, which I'm really interested in because this game is really fun, and I do want to step up the difficulty a bit. But yeah, let's check it out. Oh right, I still have my other file. Oh, it's telling me right here what everything was. Edit practice mode, fixed hints from townspeople, fixed mistakes in English translation. I didn't think there were really like, any mistakes in the English translation. Shows what I know, huh? But best changes to optimal gear. Now switch weapons that can barely defeat enemies with low HP. Interesting. So I'm going to have to like equip the best if I like manually then. I quite like that button honestly. But how do I move again? Oh god, that's not what I wanted. Alright, it's the arrow key. Let's talk to you. Okay, I think we listened to all the strategies before. I don't know if we listened to expert ones, but we'll figure it out. Why is random harder than expert? Also, ow, my ears. Why is random harder than expert? Okay, so expert is slightly harder than the standard dungeon, which we did last time, so yeah, let's try it. There are 30 floors. I'm just gonna go all in. So if you don't remember, hold on, I'm gonna pause it. Hi, I'm over here now. So the purpose of this game, if you got from last time, is basically one or more of these chests are a mimic, which will eat you if we open it. And we're trying to determine which one it is because mimics always lie. Like, all of the chests will give us a statement, but the mimics will be lying about theirs. And that's how we know which ones are the mimics. So we have to listen to the mimics and pick out which one's not telling the truth. And I didn't really explain last time my thought process very well, so I'm going to go ahead and do that a little better. And the way I usually like doing this is picking out one and then going from there. So the top left one we'll see. The box below me isn't a mimic. We'll believe that's true for now, and that's how my kind of method going through this is. So if this is true, then this is the mimic, which means there is a mimic among the red boxes. And this one says box on the left is a mimic. And if this is telling the truth, then this one's lying. Which also would mean that the one above it, the black box in the middle, would be telling the truth because the one below it is a mimic. And then there's our one mimic, so we have the one mimic already picked out. The box below the one on the right can't be a mimic, and there is no mimic among the black boxes. So if we assume that this is true, everything lines up. So this isn't a mimic, and then this is our mimic over here. And if I'm correct, okay, yeah, that was our mimic. So yeah, that's kind of how the game works, and over time it gets a little bit harder and a little bit harder. And the big problem is on the left there you can see gut, which is continuously ticking down, and that's our incentive to get through it faster. Which is kind of why I rushed through explaining what I do last time, but I'm going to take it slower. So the top row contains no mimics, which we'll assume that's true. And this one says the bottom row contains a mimic, which it would have to be if this one was telling the truth. So these two kind of vouch for each other because they're saying the same thing. This one's saying the top row contains no mimics. And this one's saying the bottom row contains a mimic. And since there's only one mimic, that's basically the same statement. There's no mimic among the black boxes. We don't know if that's true yet. Bottom row contains no mimics. Wait. So if this one's telling the truth, then this one has to be our liar. Because the bottom row would have to contain a mimic. And then this would be true that there is a mimic among the blue boxes, and then there's none among the black boxes. So our gut is going down quite a bit. I don't know if I have any food for that yet. But let's open them all and see what happens. I know I'm logicking my way through this, but I still have to cross my fingers every single time. Alright, and every so often then you'll come across these, which are... It's basically just kind of optimized gear. Eat all the candy. Oh, right, we had that candy that maxed our, or raised our max HP. 5 damage. And over time, our weapons will break, so we need to keep getting new ones. Make sure ours stay working. Okay, I was worried. For some reason, I was worried that would be a mimic. Okay, the box below you is a mimic. But let's assume that's true. So the box on the right isn't a mimic. So that would mean this is also a mimic. Because it's saying the other one's not a mimic, so it would mean it is a mimic. These two are vouching for each other, actually. So either they're both wrong, or either they're both mimics, or they're both not. And there's only one mimic, as you can see at the top of the screen. Box below me with some golden. We did find our mimic already. Box on the left isn't a mimic, and the box on the left isn't a mimic, right? Yeah, sweet. And gear we can equip. Magic wand. Yeah, give me that blue armor. We desperately need... We need to get food fast. Because we don't have any. Wait, no. Item. Yeah, I don't have any. Box below me isn't a mimic. So let's assume that's true. There's no mimic among the black boxes. And if we assume that's true, these two are telling the truth. It means there would have to be a mimic among the blue boxes. It means it would be this one. Please. Did I get anything to eat? Please. I need something. That candy. Great. I need something to increase my gut. Please don't just send me into another puzzle. Fine. Alright, so there's one mimic, so this one can't be lying about that one not being a mimic, because, again, there's two mimics then. So we know that this one isn't a mimic. That this one is also not a mimic. So the bottom row doesn't contain any mimic. So that would have to be it, because this one says the top row contains a mimic, and it's the only thing that makes sense. This is all great, but I'm still slowly dying of hunger. Please. Something. Please. Oh, good. Okay, we're rushing to the store. Like, to eat something? Yes, please. Yeah, fully heal the gut, please. Good. I don't know if gut goes down while we're here. Alright, I'll buy some rice balls. I'll buy a whetstone for weapon durability. And I'll buy one of each of these. And yeah, we're good now. That was scary. There are two mimics from here on. Who are you? These hints might show from here on out. Mimics hide side by side. Two of the mimics are not neighbors. Neighbors side by side mean boxes above, below, or on either side. Diagonals don't count, okay? Okay. What's in the boxes? So, let's see. There's a mimic among the red box. Assume that's true. And, wait, these two contradict each other. Because two of the mimics are not neighbors. Two of the mimics hide side by side. So these two contradict each other, meaning one of these is the mimic. Or one of these is a mimic. And we're going to assume this is true, which means there's a mimic among the red boxes. Which means it would have to be this one. This is hard. I really should have gotten a scroll for this. So two of the mimics are not neighbors, which means this one would be lying. There would be a mimic among the red boxes, that is true. And now these two are difficult to tell. But if they don't hide side by side, then this one also has to be the mimic. Okay, so two of the mimics are not neighbors, correct. There's a mimic among the red boxes, checks out. There's a mimic among black boxes, which checks out. There's no mimic among the blue boxes, checks out. Mimic among the red boxes, and two mimics hide side by side, also correct. I don't know why I'm doing this like it's a horror game. Yeah, that one was a little trickier. Oh god, this is gonna be tricky. Let's assume that's true. Let's assume there's a mimic, so they're not hiding side by side. Box on left is a mimic. Yeah. Box on left isn't a mimic. Yeah. And there. So the box below me is a mimic, that checks out. Box on left is a mimic, checks out. But yeah, this all does check out. So the box below is a mimic. The mimics hide side by side, diagonals don't count. Box on left is a mimic, yeah. And the box on the left isn't a mimic. We know that. Box below isn't a mimic. And we know, we're assuming this one's telling the truth, and if it does, everything else lines up, and this is our last mimic. Hi, are you a mimic? I made that same joke last time, I think. Oh, that's one non-mimic. I feel like I'm going to need that this time. Just for my own sake. Boxes. I'm not a mimic. Let's assume that's telling the truth. That doesn't help, though. Okay, so yeah, let's start with this one, I think. The top right. There's a mimic among the red boxes. Let's assume that's true. That would mean this is our mimic. Which means the box above me is not a mimic. But this one says the box on the right isn't a mimic. So this one would also be lying. Which means this one would also have to be lying. And this one, because the mimics would be neighbors. So there can't be a mimic among the red boxes. We know that one's lying. And then we know that's not a mimic. It's telling the truth. And then that's telling the truth. Two of the mimics are not neighbors. Well, we know that's the case now. Not a mimic. And there's no mimic among the black boxes. It literally cannot be the case. Because there's two mimics and only one isn't black. So that one has to be lying. Okay, it flashed and it freaked me out. Ooh, hyper armor. I got that last time, I think. I feel like we're due for another... Yeah, we're due for another fight. Yeah, Nessa coming in with the attack magic. Oh, twice in a row. There's a mimic among the red boxes. There's no mimic among the red boxes. So it's already one of these two. There's no mimic among the red box. Let's assume that there is a mimic among the red boxes. It's the only red box. And these two would both be lines, so there's a mimic. One mimic is hiding in red box. There would be no mimic among the blue boxes then, because our two mimics were found. And there is a mimic among the black boxes, so that checks out. I really hope I am making sense. That's like my number one fear with games like this, is that I wonder what the chance of this thing being a mimic is. Probably none, right? So let's assume that's true. Assume that's true. Two of the mimics are not neighbors. But this one also says two of the mimics are not neighbors. So if they agree, then these three would be mimics. So that one is a mimic. We don't know if they're neighbors or not yet, but we do know that that one's not a mimic. But since they agree... Wait, this one isn't a mimic, so we do know that the mimics are not neighbors, actually. Not all mimics are the same color. Well, the red one is the only red one, so they have to be different colors. So we know that's true. And then, since we know that's true, that one has to be our mimic. Or second mimic. That's just really coming through for us. Okay, good. I was getting a little worried about gut again. Buy some buns. Oh god. This is where it gets complicated. So... Top row contains no mimics. Assume that's true. So there's no mimic among the red box. So the bottom row would contain no mimics. Same number of mimics in blue and red boxes. So the bottom row would contain no mimics. No. Yeah, this doesn't make sense. Because there would have to be the same number of mimics in blue and red boxes. And there would have to be more mimics in red than black boxes. So there's 0. So the top row does contain a mimic, and no mimic being in the box doesn't make sense. So we do know top row contains a mimic. Bottom row contains no mimics. That could be true. Well, it is true if we found our two mimics already, which I think we did. Same number of mimics in red and blue boxes. Yeah, there's one of each. Bottom row would contain no mimics. These two agree, so yeah. There are more mimics in red than black boxes. Yes, there are, because there's one in red, none in black. And if that checks out, then it checks out. That one just says... That one's asleep! Okay, that doesn't help. So, if we remember last time, if it's a mimic, it can't say... So, wait, these two are the same. So let's assume they're both telling the truth. And then there would have to be 0 hiding in black boxes. Means that one's lying. Box on left is a mimic. That checks out. 0 mimics are hiding in red boxes. We believe so. And that one... I don't know. We didn't get any that were sleeping last time. Oh, why is Steam still freaking out? So yeah, I believe that checks though? Weird med, no telling what'll happen. Okay. Box on the right isn't a mimic. Let's assume that's true. So not all mimics are the same color, so our mimics are different colors. And diagonal up left from me isn't a mimic, so yeah, we're guessing that. Then this would have to be telling the truth because this one is saying the same thing. Which means that diagonal down left from me is a mimic, would have to be a lie. And then there's no mimic among blue boxes would be a lie. Okay, so we have our two mimics. I was worried that we wouldn't be able to tell what one this one is, but we have our two mimics. So if this is telling the truth, then we have our two mimics. Jewel sells for a high price. Huh. I think there's only 30 floors to this, so we might be nearing the end. There's no mimic among black boxes. Let's call that true for now. Wait. There are more mimics in black boxes than blue boxes. So if that one has to be lying then. So there is a mimic among the black boxes, which that says there are more mimics in black boxes than blue boxes. Since 3 of those say the same thing, there are more mimics in black boxes than blue boxes. So that's basically saying there are none in blue boxes, because if there was, if this one was a mimic, then we'd have the same number of mimics in each one. There'd be 1 and 1. So there are more mimics in black than there can't be any in that one. There can't be any blue mimics. Means this is the only one unaccounted for, I want to say. But this game is a lot of fun. Like, it is insanely fun. I don't like the... You've opened so many treasures. Good job. You've opened 70 treasures so far. You've opened more than 63 treasures. I'll give you 5 attack candies as a reward. Cool. I know we could get more than one, but I do want to save some money. Okay, so now attack and defense is both a C. Oh. There we go. There. Just unload everything on him. 4 more HP heal. I feel like we're not playing right if we don't use the weird med. Weapon durability fully restored. Sweet. Temporary plus 5 attack. Our attack is 41 right now. I think we're fine. And a bomb. And I guess that means we win. Please give me a positive score this time. I'm still hurting over the last one. Right, our attack was C. Yes, we got a positive score. I don't know if it was a good one, but it's upgraded. You saved 20 adventure points. The level 2 has been unlocked. What is level 2? I kinda want to try that. Mimics hide side by side. Let's assume that's true. So that one's saying the same thing. So the box below me isn't a mimic. We know that, because these two are saying the same thing. Or we think that, at least. I keep saying we know that, but we don't know that. Until it's all figured out. Box on left isn't a mimic. That's also a lie. Box above me isn't a mimic. That's, we're assuming, true. Okay, so we have our 2 mimics accounted for. They're hiding side by side. Box below isn't a mimic. Box to the left is a mimic. Box above me isn't a mimic, so that's true. 2 mimics also hide side by side. Box on left isn't a mimic. So all of these statements match up again. There's a mimic among the black boxes. That has to be true, because if it was a mimic, it couldn't say there's a mimic among the black boxes. Because then it would be outing itself. There is no mimic among blue boxes. If that's lying, then that's lying. And then these two would also be lying. So there's no mimic among the blue boxes. And then the mimics don't hide side by side, so... No mimic among blue boxes, or there is a mimic. Mimics can't lie about there being mimics. So this one's lying. There is a mimic among blue boxes. And we know that the box below this one isn't a mimic, because it's saying something we know. Box on the right is a mimic. How do we figure that out, though? Like, it's a 50-50. For the first time, we're gonna have to skip out on some loot, because there's no way to tell. If there was, let me know, because I don't know how else I was supposed to tell. There are more mimics in red than blue boxes. Let's assume that's... Wait. Let's assume that's true. Wait. All of these are saying the same thing. And then these two are lying. There's a mimic among the blue boxes. The box on the right is a mimic. Assume that's true. There's a mimic among the blue boxes. If it was lying, it couldn't say there was a mimic. Because then it would be telling the truth, like I keep saying. So that is already wrong. Diagonal up right for me is a mimic. We now know that's true. Box on the left isn't a mimic. Diagonal up left for me is a mimic. That is not true, actually. 0 mimics are hiding in red boxes. And that's true then. So if this is lying, we'd have 3 mimics. Yeah, so the box on the right is a mimic. There is a mimic among the blue boxes. This is a mimic, so that's true. Box on the left is a mimic, we know that. Diagonal up left for me is a mimic, that's not true. And we don't know what this one has to say. Diagonal down right isn't a mimic, let's assume that's true. Not all mimics are the same color, so they're 2 different ones. Or all the mimics are the same color, so that's a lie. No mimics in red than blue boxes. Well, this can't be true because there are 2 mimics. Bottom right can't be true because there's already 1 mimic right here. So that's our other mimic. There are more mimics in red than blue boxes. Yes. There are more mimics in black than blue boxes. Yeah, that's also true because there are none in the blue box. This one's not a mimic just because it's left over. Yeah, all of these now check out. Hopefully I'm still explaining these well enough. I am trying to go a little bit faster because Gut is a mechanic. Super HP candy increases max HP by 10. There's no mimic there is a mimic among the red boxes. Let's assume that's true. Not all mimics are the same color. Wait, there is no mimic among the red boxes, so that has to be lying. Let's start with something that makes a little more let's get a tighter rule to go with. Diagonal down right isn't a mimic. So yeah, the bottom row would contain no mimics, which means all the mimics are the same color. Bottom row contains no mimics. And this one's saying not all mimics are the same. Yeah, this one's saying not all mimics are the same color, so... That would directly contradict what we know so far, which means... There is a mimic among the red boxes, and there is a mimic among the red boxes, so that one's lying too. This is not helping as much as she thinks it is. I do appreciate that they'll help each every now and then. And back to it. So, let's start with this. 0 mimics are hiding in red boxes. If that's true, then there is 1 mimic hiding in a black box. And the top row has at least 1 mimic. Which is what this one's saying, so they're both telling the truth. And if 1 mimic is hiding in the black box, then that one's a mimic. And the bottom row has at least 1 mimic would not be true. Good number of mimics in black and blue boxes. I'm not confident in my logic with this one, so hopefully... Okay, we did it. 1 mimic is hiding in a black box. Let's assume that's true. Which means this is also not a mimic. So in a black box. One of these 2 are lying then. Top row has more mimics than the bottom. So, there are more mimics in blue than red. Cannot be a thing because we already know that that's not the truth. So, there's a mimic. I'm just gonna use my other one to give myself base for this. Left middle box, not a mimic. So, 1 is hiding in a black box, which means not all the mimics are the same color. There are more mimics in blue than red boxes. Not possible. There are more mimics in red than blue. That's not true. Because there's only 1 red, and that's not our mimic. The top row has more mimics than the bottom. That cannot be true. Because we have our mimics. So if 1's hiding in a black box, which we know, we got that confirmed. If it's only 1 mimic in a black box, then they're not the same color. Means there can't be more mimics in red than blue boxes. Because there's only 1 red that's not a mimic. I think that's right. That one took me a bit. Okay, so the bottom row has at least 1 mimic. Let's assume that's true. So we have 3 gold, which is going to be hard to track. So bottom row has at least 1 mimic. All the mimics are the same color. I don't know where to start with these. Okay, So let's say bottom row has a Mimic. Well, obviously because either one of these two are lying. Diagonal down right for me has some gold. I don't know how to do this. Yeah, no, I'm saying screw it. Wait, now loading. Didn't like that. I like this even less. Please heal me. I don't like that the screen faded to pink. Hero mimics are hiding in black boxes. So let's assume that's true. There are more mimics in red than black boxes, which would be true if there are none in black boxes. Same number of mimics in blue and red boxes. Don't know that yet. Same number of mimics in blue and black box. Means that's lying. And there are more mimics in blue than black. Gold hiding somewhere in the blue box. How would I know? Or either I'm not going to open those two. Because there's no way to tell. Yeah, finds one non-mimic. We need that more and more. Some buns. I'll take an attack and defense candy. Opened 58 treasures so far. You opened less than 63 treasure boxes. Sorry, but I can't give you a reward. Dang it. Uh-oh. I should have taken much more. I forgot this was the one. Yeah, we might die here. You took 30 damage. Nessa, may lose next time you take damage. I don't have any other choice. Please, Nessa. Dang it. Man. Oh, that's tough. Yeah, there's definitely more to this game than I thought there was on the first episode. It is really interesting. I might want to do a third episode. Maybe. Depends on how you guys feel about it, because it's getting a lot harder and I'm going to need to find new ways to think. Definitely have to stop by Nessa and see the different strategies, which I will do in or between episodes, if there is another one. Yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Let me know if you did, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, y'all.